We are checking out the goods and bads of Arena Breakout Infinite to let you know if it is worth playing. Getting into the game, the excitement begins with your first raid. Jumping in solo might not be the best idea though. If you're used to fast-paced shooters like Call of Duty or Valorant, Arena Breakout Infinite will catch you off guard. The gunplay is different, more realistic, with a level of difficulty that makes you think twice before engaging in a fight. The first encounter with an AI enemy can be quite a challenge. The guns in Arena Breakout Infinite behave in a way that's meant to mimic real life, including a higher level of recoil than you might expect. If you've played games like PUBG on PC, you're probably used to controlling full auto-fire by dragging your mouse down. Here, that strategy won't cut it. You quickly realize that firing in controlled bursts is the way to go. This is a slower, more deliberate experience, focusing on realism and careful strategy rather than running and gunning. One of the strongest aspects of Arena Breakout Infinite is its commitment to realism, which is evident in its visuals. The game doesn't boast the neon-lit flair of something like Cyberpunk, but that's not its aim. Instead, it presents a gritty, war-torn world with abandoned infrastructure and a muted color palette that fits perfectly with its theme. This attention to detail helps create an immersive environment that pulls you into the experience. When it comes to gameplay, Arena Breakout Infinite requires patience. The pace is slower compared to many other shooters, but that's intentional. You can't just rush around looking for loot. You need to be cautious because danger can be lurking around every corner. Whether it's a human player or an AI soldier, both can take you out quickly if you're not careful. The weapons in the game are designed to behave as realistically as possible. From firing to reloading, every action feels authentic. Reloading isn't some quick, flashy move like in the movies. It takes time, adding to the tension of every encounter. One of the most fun features is the weapon assembly system. It gives you endless options to customize and tweak your guns to fit your playstyle. The right attachments can make a big difference in how your weapon performs, and experimenting with different setups is part of the fun. However, not everything in Arena Breakout Infinite is perfect. One of the areas that could use some improvement is the audio. The game was marketed as having a top-tier audio experience, but in practice, it doesn't quite live up to that promise. While the weapons sound great, and you can usually tell where enemies are coming from based on their footsteps, there are some issues, especially with vertical audio. For example, if an enemy is on a different floor in a building, it can sometimes be hard to tell if they're above or below you, which can lead to frustrating and unnecessary deaths. Another downside is the lack of certain features that have become standard in modern shooters, like mantling and climbing. In many games, you can scale short walls or obstacles, but in Arena Breakout Infinite, you're often stuck on the ground. This can be annoying, especially when you're in a tight spot and could easily escape if only you could climb over a wall. The game also has a steep learning curve, which might be off-putting to new players. There's a lot to learn, from the different types of loot to the mechanics of extraction shooters in general. If you're not familiar with this genre, your first few hours in Arena Breakout Infinite might feel overwhelming. Going into a match solo to try and learn the ropes can result in losing all your items, which can be frustrating. The training phase could do a better job of preparing players for what to expect, so they don't end up losing everything while trying to figure out the game. During the closed beta, there were 2 maps available, the Farm and the Valley. Both maps were decent, offering a fair amount of space to explore, but they lacked distinctive features that would make one stand out from the other. They also felt a bit sparse in terms of cover, which can make navigating them tricky, especially when you're trying to avoid getting shot. Like other extraction shooters, Arena Breakout Infinite follows a familiar formula. You drop into a map, loot as much as you can, and then try to get out alive. The game offers a good selection of guns with plenty of customization options, and there are even some items that feel like they were inspired by Escape from Tarkov. One of the issues during the beta was matchmaking, which was sparse at times, leading to long waits between matches. Most AI characters just stood around, not doing much, which made encounters with them less challenging than they should have been. When playing with other players, spawn killing was a common problem. It wasn't unusual to drop into a map only to be shot within seconds. This is something that definitely needs to be addressed before the game's full release. Better spawn positions with more cover would go a long way in preventing this issue. Arena Breakout Infinite prides itself on being more realistic than its competitors, but that claim doesn't fully hold up. While the gunplay feels solid and satisfying, it doesn't necessarily feel more realistic than other extraction shooters out there. Long-range gunplay, in particular, felt a bit off, with the best experiences coming in medium to short-range engagements. The game does have some impressive graphics, which helps to create a believable world. The visual detail, especially in the environments and weapon models, adds to the immersion and makes every firefight feel intense. There are already some concerns about how the game will handle its in-game economy. Some players and reviewers have expressed worries about the speed at which you earn currency, raising fears that the game might become pay-to-win. This would be a shame, as the game has a lot of potential and could provide some healthy competition for titles like Escape from Tarkov. Let's hope that the developers take these concerns seriously and make sure that the game remains fair for all players, regardless of whether they spend money or not. A well-balanced free-to-play model could help Arena Breakout Infinite carve out a space for itself in the crowded shooter market. So, is it worth playing? Arena Breakout Infinite is a game with a lot of promise. It offers a visually impressive, realistic military shooter experience with solid gunplay and a deep weapon customization system. However, it's not without its flaws, including some audio issues, a steep learning curve, and problems with AI and matchmaking. As the game is still in beta, there's hope that these issues will be addressed before the full release. If the developers can iron out the kinks and avoid the pitfalls of a pay-to-win economy, Arena Breakout Infinite could become a strong contender in the extraction shooter genre. For now, it's a game worth keeping an eye on. Whether or not it's worth playing will depend on how much you enjoy realistic shooters and how well the final product turns out. If you're a fan of the genre, Arena Breakout Infinite could be just what you're looking for. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more game reviews. See you next time.